sky so far, but I can't lose it.
It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside. Drex perhaps missing his mark. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Xventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and it is time for the Season 48 finale. I know, you guys are so concerned, so sad to see the final race number 9 here of the season, featuring the Polaris Razor. That you don't know what to do with yourselves. That's why you're here. You're sad. We're mourning the loss of a good friend in the form of a ATV, I guess, would be the classification for it. No, in all seriousness, it is the end of the season. Season 48 will go into a 3-week hiatus here, the off season, at which point the Forza Spec Racing Series organizers will have a brand new vehicle, a whole new schedule of races for the drivers to take on. And we'll see what happens there, because here in Season 48 for the 7th, well, I shouldn't say for the 7th time here in Season 48. That would be way too many championships in one single season. But for the 7th time in a row, and now here in Season 48, LS Subaru has become the FM4 champion once again. Surprise, surprise. I know. Good evening there, Slow Motion Fire. TMK CMO is here as well. And everybody else who might be joining us a little bit later on, might be watching this on demand. Howdy to you. It's gonna be an interesting night. You know, we'll get as many drivers out there on the track as we possibly can. That track being Circuit de Catalunya. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule, just to remind ourselves of what brought us to this point. 62 laps, Circuit de Catalunya, the national circuit here tonight for the finale. This after LS Subaru was able to put that final nail in the coffin there, securing another championship with the Dubai Mountain Circuit and the Sebring Club Circuit. Coming away with, what would that be? Seven total victories here in the season for LS Subaru. It was Oops Arena out at Homestead there for race number 6 of the season, getting the victory. And yet again, putting the end to LS Subaru's hunt for the Golden Broom. That's really the only milestone that has eluded LS Subaru at this point, is the right to say that he has swept an entire season. Has not happened yet. Will not happen here in season 48. Rio de Janeiro, Mount Panorama, Lime Rock, Monza, Sonoma. A lot of good tracks, a lot of great races. So if you want to go watch them back on demand, you can do so here on Twitch. Just go to the videos tab of the channel. Past broadcast is what you're looking for. Or you can also check them out on YouTube, where I think I've got them all up to date here, all the way through week number 4. You can go watch them back, to include some of the early broadcasts of FM4 here on the channel. Oh yeah, for the camera, before the green screen, before the jacket, before LS Subaru came in and wrecked everything. Yeah, you can go watch those back too, and see how those went, and reminisce on the days in which we had different champions. I know I say this definitely with all due respect and fun. In the direction of LS Subaru. LS Subaru will not be participating here tonight, as he's done in the past, after having secured the championship, deciding not to race in the final season, or excuse me, the final week of the season, and instead extending that break to 4 weeks. DWM Frog here, another season coming to an end. That it is. Man, it is quiet. It is quiet here today. Oh well, it happens. It happens. The lobby's pretty quiet, too. We've got Slow Motion Fire, Patches Riley, Kratrian, Born as Ghost, LS Barney, Kuda93, and Fear the Fun currently in there. Yeah, we still got 10 minutes, though. So maybe we'll get another couple of drivers here to bring us to, I don't know, somewhere around 10 or so. If you are interested in participating in the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 49, make sure you head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4, introduce yourself. Let Slow Motion Fire and the gang know that you are interested in competing, and I assure you, you will have a spot. You will have the opportunity to race in Season 49 and compete for the championship there in Season 49. Speaking of the championship, like I've already mentioned, highlighted in gold there, LS Subaru with 300 points. The max that you can bring in the season, into week number 5. I keep getting my season and week nomenclature mixed up, but 300 points, the max that you can bring into week number 5. LS Subaru has that, and as a result has already secured a championship, 7th straight. Yeah, 7 consecutive. Bryant, not currently in the lobby, at 273. Great trim at 259, 234 there for Fear the Fun, tied with Oops Arena. So that'll be interesting. Oops Arena not currently in the lobby. Bryant not currently in the lobby. Hopefully we'll get one of those two, or if not both. That way they can compete here in week number 5 and try to either hold on to the position that they're currently in or jump up a position, if at all possible. That being the case there for Oops Arena. Right now, Fear the Fun of those two tied at 234 are the only one in the lobby. Oh, and just as I say that, Oops Arena is jumping into the lobby. How about that? DNR Horizon at 216, 214s shared by Oddrex and Patches Riley. Oddrex reporting some connectivity issues here in the FM4 Discord. So unless something changes here in the next 8 minutes, Oddrex may be out. Born as Ghost at 193. 188 there for Patches, Slow Motion Fire. LS Barney, who we've seen sporadically through the season, is going to be participating here in week number 5. Good to see Barney in the lobby. At 174, Kuda93 at 155, Modern Weapon at 154, 124 there for Wizen, Onion at 58, 24 for Toya, and Darkser at 6. And of course, you take a look at some of those drivers and you go, okay, they should have more points. And yes, they most certainly should. But again, if you don't participate in every single week, that's absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means your ability to compete for the championship is going to be squashed. There is one drop week. So out of the 5 weeks of racing for any one season, they take the week in which you score the least amount of points. They drop that from your overall total, and that comprises your championship points total. And, of course, the driver who has the most championship points at the end of the season is the champion. All right, now taking a look at the lobby, we do have Oof Serena, we do have Bryant, and we do have now TNR Horizon. That brings us up to 10 total drivers. I like it. I like it. We've got a little bit here before the racing or the well, actually, no, there is no qualifying here. They did away with qualifying several seasons back, and instead here for the 9th and final race of the season, they are placed in reverse grid order. And by that, I mean the driver who has the least amount of points will start up front, and the driver with the most amount of points will start at the very back. Just a little way to make it a bit more of a challenge for those drivers who did exceedingly well throughout the season. And of course, if there does come a time at any point here in the future at which we have the championship on the line all the way into that final week number 5, then it definitely makes things interesting, as the drivers would then have to make their way through the field and at the same time keep pace with the driver that they are trying to overcome on the overall leaderboard. So maybe one day we'll have that, which again is another reason that if you are interested in participating in FM4, no matter your skill level, reddit.com/r/FM4 is the place for you to go. Introduce yourself and get yourself ready for season 49. What will happen here in the next week or so is Slow Motion Fire, who is the ringleader here at FM4, will post some obscure photos. They're like really zoomed in on the vehicle of choice, that being LS Subaru's choice, being the champion. And if you could pick out the details of the car that Slow Motion Fire has zoomed in on, and you guess correctly, you have to wager your guess within their subreddit. You got to message the mods. If you guess correctly, you get to pick a track to be featured on the season 49 schedule. So a great opportunity if one track you do really, really well at, or maybe you don't even do really well at, but you just really want to race that track, then an incentive for you to participate in some of the off-season fun that they've got going on. After that happens and the car is actually announced, there will be some off-season fun. They do a week or a Tuesday in which they just run kind of a fun event. It has nothing to do with any of the vehicles of the FM4 series, but rather they just kind of assemble something that they think would be fun. They do that one Tuesday. Another Tuesday is like a test and tune night, and then a practice night, and then week number 1 will be here in 4 weeks' time, assuming nothing changes with the schedule. It should be, we'll check with Slow Motion Fire a little bit later on in the broadcast, but I'm going to guess that season 49 will kick off not on the 27th, not on the 4th, not on the 11th, but the 18th of October. 18th of October would be the start date. All right. How's everybody doing? How's your Tuesday going? Mine is doing well. It's getting cloudy out there as we got cold front moving in. It's going to feel like fall for the next couple of days. Drex now into the lobby. So we've got 11 drivers. 11 drivers in there. Going well for DWM Frog. Very good. Very good. I got my truck back with my fuel pump working and my fuel gauge working. So I'm good. I'm good. I could finally think to next week without being like, oh yeah, I gotta go drop off the vehicle at the auto shop. We're nearing the top of the hour, about 2 minutes away from green flag racing, somewhere around there. But like I said, we do have 10 drivers in the lobby. Audrex was trying to get in and actually did not successfully make it. So it seems like Audrex is still trying, but not having any luck. Audrex says they're restarting. Okay, so maybe Audrex is going to try to make it happen with a restart. Cratrium, in the FM board Discord, has posted a clip. Gosh, what season is that? That's going back a ways. That's to the season of the Alfa Romeo. Don't ask me the number, the model number, but to the season of the Alfa Romeos, at which point somebody, I suspect, it's Fear the Fun, came sliding across the curbing out at Circuit de Catalunya. So Cratrium doing a little recall, a little throwback. That definitely wasn't the last time that we were out here at Catalunya. I don't think. I would be very shocked if that was the last time that we were at Catalunya, but probably just taking a jab there at Fear is Cratrium. As a matter of fact, Fear now typing response and just telling everybody to get in the lobby. There you go. Try to get that racer player count up there. Sometimes here in week number 5, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'll preface it for those of you who maybe you haven't seen a full race of FM4 or full season of FM4. Sometimes when we get to this 9th race of the season, this 5th and final week of the season, and if the champion has already been crowned, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult to get drivers involved because now they're just like, all right, well, season's a wrap. I'll just be back in 4 weeks' time. We are now up to 12 drivers. Audrex seems to have made it into the lobby in addition to modern weapons. So 12 drivers, not bad. I mean, considering the average here, I think, of season 48 was around 15. 12 is not bad. 12 is not bad. I mean, LS Subaru, we already knew, would not be a participant. I long for the days at which we have a full leaderboard here again. Those weren't all that long ago. So hopefully we'll get there again. I know we've got the new Forza Motorsport title coming out in, well, to our knowledge, what would that be? Like anywhere between 6 and 8 months from now? Spring of 2023? I guess it could be 9 months. Counting them out in my head. But hopefully we'll see this leaderboard full. We used to have both sides filled with a couple of stragglers that I wouldn't show on here, but then the goal was always to be in the top 20. Certainly as of late, being in the top 20 is not all that difficult. You just show up for one race and you don't even have to complete the race and you could be on the leaderboard. But yeah, we'll get the leaderboard going again. Weisenmitten has now connected. Who did we lose? Because we were at 12 and now we're still at 12. Maybe Weisenmitten went out and then came back in. I'll read them off here. The drivers that we have in the lobby at the moment: Cratrium, Patches Riley, Born as Ghost, Ellis Barney, Bryant, TNR Horizon, Soul Motion Fire, Kuda, Oof Serena, Modern Weapon, Audrex, Weisenmitten. Fear the Fun has now connected, so we're up to 13 drivers. Oh, that's what happened. Fear disconnected from the lobby, so that's what had happened. TNR Horizon, one of those drivers, one of those names, those gamer tags that I would say certainly if we get Horizon's participation in Season 49, keep a lookout. Currently sitting 6th on the leaderboard at 216, but I think Horizon could be better than that. We'll see what happens. If indeed Horizon participates in Season 49. Soul Motion Fire says, few issues with Forza and Discord trying to get everyone here. Gotcha. No worries. We can hang out. Kind of kick back. Enjoying the evening. Should have the window cracked. That's what I should have done. I guess I could still go do that. What's up there, Ghibli? You're hanging out. Heck yeah. Just to, let's see, what do we got going on? Friday, I totally forgot. Friday, I mentioned on Sunday that I'd have a Friday stream. I do not have a Friday stream this coming weekend. Friday is a scratch, but I will be back on Sunday with the finale to Batman Arkham City. It looks like it's only going to take 3 Sunday streams to close that one out. Then I'll have God of War, which will kick off on October. What is the first Sunday of October? October the 2nd. October the 2nd, I start my God of War stream. And then I'll be back to a Friday stream next Friday. Not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. And that will be one of my longer Friday streams. So be on the lookout in terms of what we're doing there. We had a high-flying Friday flight simulator stream this past Friday. Who knows what I'm going to have going on here. What would that be? September the 30th? September the 30th will be my next Friday stream. And then a week from tonight, since the Forza Spec Racing Series will have come to a head here by the end of tonight's stream and be in its off-season activities, a week from tonight, I'm going to jump into Forza Horizon 5 for some Forzatography, which I'm looking forward to. What was the last time? Did I do Forzatography in this past off-season? I don't remember. Not sure if I did. It's always fun. It's always a good way to kick back and chill. Be all comfy and chill. All right. Soul Motion Fire reminding me to spectate now that the lobby has been set accordingly. We've got 13 drivers. 13 drivers here. And that's that seems like the most that we're going to get today. If I take a look at the leaderboard, LS Subaru, who we knew was not going to be participating, the only other one of the top drivers that isn't out on the track is going to be, let's see, Patches Riley's here. Born as Ghost is here. Barney, who hasn't been able to make it throughout the entire season, is here tonight. Cuda93 is here. Modern Weapon is here. Weisenmitten is racing. And because of that reverse grid order, it's going to be Weisenmitten, Modern Weapon on row number 1, Cuda93 and Barney on row number 2, then Slow Motion Fire and Born as Ghost 5th and 6th, respectively. Row number 4 goes to Patches Riley and Audrex, TNR Horizon and Oops Arena in row 5. Row 6 is Fear the Fun and Cratrium, with then Bryant back there by themselves in row number 7, 8. There toward the back. Kick the tires, light the fires, wasting no time whatsoever. Weisenmitten gets us going here for the Season 48 finale out at Circuit de Catalunya National, the shorter track. As they'll hit the right-hander here into the infield, it's going to be Modern Weapon, who had the outside line. The pole position was given the inside line. That actually allowed Modern Weapon to have a better entry point going into that first couple of corners. And now out they come of TV3, turns 3 and 4, at least here on the national circuit. Then they go into this right-hander, which we'll call turn number 5 here tonight. And then you see they're going to take the extended chicane before rolling out onto the front straightaway, or not the front straightaway, but this straightaway up to La Cascia, where they'll do the left-hander here at the hairpin. And right now, mostly in single file formation, although LS Barney there, looks like LS Barney competing pretty nicely with Cuda93 for second position. It is Modern Weapon still up front. There goes Weisenmitten into the kitty litter, allowing Slow Motion Fire to go ahead and jump out in front. And look at that, almost 3 wide here into the entry of the S. And, a little tap there for Weisenmitten, I think, getting a tap from TNR Horizon, which then made contact with Patches Riley. And now here as they hit the front straightaway for the end of lap number 1. Serena is going to move now up to 8th position. But it's going to be Modern Weapon, LS Barney, Kuda 93, Born as Ghost, and Slow Motion Fire in the top 5. Closely followed by Patches Riley, TNR Horizon, Serena, Weisenmitten, Fear the Fun, Kratrium, Bryant. And looks like we're going to have the drivers come to a stop here. Possibly a restart? Did we lose? We lost Audrex. A disconnect. We didn't even get the loading screen. But a disconnect in Audrex, and that means they're going to go ahead. Soul Motion Fire is going to take note of where everybody is currently positioned, and they'll come back to the lobby to see if they can get Audrex back in there. Audrex, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, in the Discord, saying that they're having he's having some connectivity problems, and we'll see if maybe they even. We'll see if they go ahead and restart the lobby at that. Not just restart the race, but the whole dang lobby. Maybe? Maybe not. Audrex is in the lobby, so he got disconnected from the race, was able to return. And so we'll be back to racing here shortly. They're going to have to take a lap of the 62 that are slated for Circuit de Catalunya. We should be down to 61 for the restart. That's unusual. Audrex's connection and participation is usually pretty steady. Don't oftentimes have problems stemming from Audrex's side of things. But today that seems to be the case. Looking to get a ready up there from Weisenmitten and Born as Ghost. Once we have that, we'll be back out there. It looks like yeah, we should have Modern Weapon on pole here. Looking to see if they reorganize the grid. It was Modern Weapon out in front. Then I believe LS Barney and Patches. No, Patches was a little bit further back. We shall see. Audrex, as we rolled on into the Season 48 finale, again, tied with Patches Riley at 214 points. What you don't see accounted for here are the drop week points. The week for each driver, which up to this point has been their lowest performing in terms of total points. That's been dropped from this this leaderboard. Now, of course, once week number 5 has come to a conclusion, they will once again evaluate everybody's performance throughout the season, and their worst weeks will be dropped. All right, we're underway. Modern Weapon out there in first. LS Barney, Kuda 93. That was the name. Kuda 93 in third. Soul Motion Fire, Patches Riley, TNR Horizon, Serena, Weisenmitten, Fear the Fun, and Kratrium. That's the top 10, followed by Bryant and Audrex. They're in 11th, and as a result of Audrex's disconnect, that puts him at the back of the pack. Here we are, lap number 1 of 61 now at this point. Into Lakasha. Here comes Barney looking to the inside. The Dunkin' Donuts liveried Polaris Razor. 123 horsepower. 81 foot-pounds of torque. 1,586 pounds of vehicle curb weight. E300 if you saw there on the menu. Oh, and Born is Ghost. Born is Ghost now. Disconnected. We'll see if that results in another restart. Here as Modern Weapon comes up toward the start-finish line. That final right-hander. Having some issues here, and it looks like they indeed are going to come to a slowdown here. Maybe. That or Modern Weapon just lost control. And I guess we're going to continue. It looks like they are full throttle now coming out of turn number 2. Back into TV3, turns 3 and 4 here on the national circuit underneath the Circuit de Catalunya bridge, or not bridge, but signage there. Back into the right-hander. A few fans in the stands. Had a few out there. Let's go back to slow motion fire, 5th position. Slow is behind Patches Riley, who's in 4th. And TNR Horizon now in 6th position. Here comes TNR Horizon into the inside through the final corner. Makes the move on slow motion fire. Well done by Horizon. Again, 6th on the leaderboard with Patches Riley at 216 points. TNR Horizon would have to have an exceptional finish here to have a shot at surpassing Oops Arena on the leaderboard and finishing the top 5. And even if Horizon did have that exceptional finish, I still think getting the top 5 into the top 5 would require quite an abysmal performance by Oops Arena. So each driver out here certainly has entered the race with their own personal goal of how well they'd like to perform. Pay no mind to the fact that the championship has been claimed. Everybody still likely has a goal that they've set of where they would like to either finish in the race or where they'd like to see themselves in the standings at the end of the season. Into that right-hander once again. A nice, like a real nice day here, Circuit de Catalunya. A few clouds up in the sky. No chance of precipitation. Circuit de Catalunya, one of those tracks here in Forza Motorsport 7 where it just does not rain. To the inside of Audrex to the inside of Slow Motion Fire goes Oops Arena. Now making the pass, but she gets up into the grass and throws the backside of the Polaris out a little bit, allowing Slow Motion Fire to get up onto the driver's side. And Oops Arena is going to try to cram Slow Motion Fire up under the curving there. It does not work. And instead, they'll go single file formation through the S. But Serena in 6th. Slow Motion Fire in 7th. Let's go to Kuda 93 in 3rd. That Patches Riley in 4th. Modern Weapon has now dropped back to 2nd, meaning LS Barney is our current race leader. Down the front straightaway, Patches Riley and Cuda 93 going to go side by side here. See how that sets them up for the entry into turn number 1. And in our horizon now, you see coming into the fold. Without a doubt, LS Barney trying to establish as much a lead as he can, knowing full well that the likes of Praetrium, Horizon, Oops Arena, Bryant, I mean, heck, even Fear the Fun could be soon knocking on the rear bumper. Quite the high-speed track, this. Really the only two spots that I'm slowing down real quick. Akasha and then the S's here toward the end. Everything else pretty well built for speed. A Formula One track either presently or at one time. I cannot confirm at this moment whether or not it is on the 2022 F1 schedule. I don't know. I was talking about this with a guy that's a lot closer, a lot more familiar, much more interested with Formula One than I am. But that here in the States, they are now running commercials letting you know that you've got to complete some sort of registration if you have interest in purchasing tickets to the U.S. Grand Prix at Las Vegas. There goes Cuda 93 off the track. Makes a recovery. Throws a little smoke out there as well and drops back to 6th position. Giving Oops Serena now a spot in the top 5. But yeah, if you're interested in the U.S. Grand Prix at Las Vegas in 2023, that you gotta start filling out some sort of interest form, because I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm guessing they're gonna have some way of opening up tickets whenever they do next year in such a fashion that doesn't, one, break their website, but then two, I guess, bring some sort of order to the process. I don't know. Ghibli Gibbets, I'll remember to put my name on it. Man, I mean, it seems like fun, I suppose. But man, it's going to be a complete bonkers mess. For probably like an entire week, right? I imagine they'll roll in there about a week out from the race, start putting everything together, and then people will start to trickle in, rooms will fill up. The strip is just going to be, I don't know. It's that'll be an experience for those who are looking for the experience. That will be it. That will be one. Formula One in Las Vegas. Here comes Fear the Fun now in 7th position. Bryant not moving up through the field as quickly as I would have expected. Oof Serena and Modern Weapon get tangled up a little bit, and now Oof Serena and who is that? Kuda 93 here. As the battle for fifth continues on, even though Oof Serena was able to get by about a lap ago, Modern Weapon not relenting. And so now Kuda, Serena, Modern Weapon, 4th through 6th. Serena to the inside here of Kuda, makes the pass, and oh, look out, we've got Patches Riley off the pace through the S's, and is Patches going into pit lane or just yielding? I think Patches is just yielding to this larger group of drivers here, knowing that the fast ones have now made their way up toward the front of the field. So I think Patches just kind of voluntarily getting out of the way. So as we run through the field at this point, LS Barney, who's been leading the race for probably about the last 5 to 6 laps, is still your race leader, as you can see there on in the background, making his way up the hill. Gradual incline here at Circuit de Catalunya. TNR Horizon now up to 2nd position. Oof Serena in 3rd. Kuda 93, Bryant are 4th and 5th, followed by Cratrium, Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon, Patches Riley, Slow Motion Fire, Audrex, Weisenman. And again, Born as Ghost DNFing there after the restart, like immediately after the restart. Oof Serena now up to 3rd position. Go back here when Oof Serena made the pass on Kuda for 4th. Getting to the inside on the way down the hill. Neatly executed. Across the line, Oof Serena, beginning of lap number 10. There's Bryant. Bryant has made quite a jump. What was Bryant the last time I read him off? 7th or 8th. Now up to 4th. Able to get around Kuda, Cratrium, and Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun now up to 5th position. We're gonna have ourselves a nice battle here for 3rd, and I'm guessing at some point here there may be a catch up to Horizon. Horizon doesn't get too far away, and then that battle for 1st. This is why week 5, even when the championship is already confirmed, even when the championship is officially claimed, this final race can be oh so exciting. There goes Fear the Fun to the inside of Oof Serena. And I counted 4 tires off and outside the painted white line there on the entry of the S's. And as a result, I think Fear the Fun dropped himself back to 5th, allowing Oof Serena back to 4th. And now Bryant with about a, I don't know, 5 or 6 Polaris Razor lead here on the start of lap 11. These would be fun to take to the grocery store. Yeah, so long as you can pile your groceries just, I guess in the passenger seat. You probably have a good amount of room there. I don't know that these things I mean, you could probably make a lot of things street legal, but I don't know if these things from the factory floor are street legal. Well, then I just won't drive on the street, Dustin. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Just buy milk and a candy bar. Thanks for being here, folks. Yeah, it's a little bit of a quieter night here on the Season 48 finale. LS Subaru already has secured his 7th championship and 7th consecutive. It's bonkers. But I'm Dustin Moore, and hopefully bringing a little bit of entertainment to you here on a Tuesday. Tuesday. Luke Serena, Fear the Fun, Cray Trim. This is a very much a back and forth battle here for 4th. It was a battle for 3rd, but now Brian has said, sayonara, I'm out of here. Brian trying to catch up. I say trying. He's doing so successfully, trying to catch up to TNR Horizon, and may do so by the end of lap 12. Let's go to Brian. Some scrapes there on either side of the Napa liveried Polaris Razor. Nice and tidy through the S. Out of the right-hander and toward the start-finish line. Let's go ahead and right on board here. Let's right on board with Raytrium in 6th position. Raytrium entering week number 5, 3rd overall on the leaderboard with 259 championship points. I'll stick to my claim that this track is fun to drive. I enjoy it. I know there are plenty who will disagree. But this is Circuit at Catalunya is actually one of the long-running tracks of Forza Motorsport. I do remember back in the Forza Motorsport, gosh, was it 3 or 4? It was one of those two where I was absolutely infatuated with taking photos at this track because they had a really cool skybox, kind of a sunsetty skybox here for Catalunya. And there was one particular set that I spent a lot of time in terms of photography. It was a Porsche 911 GT3. What is it? The something Lizard sponsored GT Porsche 911, and I can't remember how much time I spent here, but it had to have been a good chunk because I think I came away with 30 or so photos from that little photo shoot. I'm sure it was a stunt by ESPN, but I'm sure it was a stunt, but on ESPN they showed a cowboy fan on a horse go through a Walmart and check out. seems about normal. People ride their horses everywhere around here. They go to the drive-ins, movie theaters. Wait, movie theaters. Why did I make movie theaters up? I saw drive-ins. Drive-ins and drive-throughs all over. Just throwing in. I mean, heck, they probably go to the movie theater, too. Take the horse to the movie theater. Go to the battle for second as Bryant has now. I said Bryant was looking to close in on Horizon back there on lap 13, but now here we are on lap 15. And Bryant about a 2-car length lead back here. Or 2-car lengths back from TNR Horizon coming out of La Cascia. See the suspension articulating there on the Polaris Razor as they go up and over the curbing. These curbs clearly not as punishing as maybe some of the earlier ones were. Sonoma, the first race of the season, immediately comes to mind, where drivers were saying that the curbing there would actually damage the suspension. I mentioned earlier 123 horsepower, 81 foot-pounds of torque. They've got the sport exhaust, race brakes, race anti-roll bars, race chassis reinforcement and roll cage, race clutch, transmission, differential, and then they got the race tire compounds that are wrapped around 230, 65, 18-inch rims up front, and then 280, 50 with an 18-inch rim at the back. Whoa, there goes Bryant. Just overpowering TNR Horizon there on the latter half of the straightaway. And so for now, Bryant moves up to second. You can see there on the track map in the bottom left, LS Barney called out there with the big circle, the larger circle with the 1 in it. LS Barney now coming across the line. Looks like maybe 2, 3, perhaps 4 seconds ahead of Bryant at this point, but with plenty of racing to go. We will, without a doubt, have a battle for first at some point in this race. Let's go ahead and take a look at the situation here of Bryant's vehicle, because what might also come into play, or will most certainly come into play, is the tire and fuel situation. Seemingly less of a worry will be tires, as they haven't even gone into the yellow there on the back tires. Only the front tires there getting up to about 27%, at least here on Bryant's vehicle, but 58% there in the fuel tank. So at some point in this race, we will see the drivers go into the pit lane at least once. Now, we'll be curious to know whether or not a second pit stop will be necessary. I don't think anybody has gone in at this point. It would be really difficult to find yourself going into pit lane right now. They've got the Forza race regulations turned on, which removes a lot of those pesky tire barriers. So even if you miss your corner, you're likely to just go cruising out on the grass or through the dirt. And certainly there hasn't been enough contact out on the track that I certainly wouldn't expect any contact to warrant a pit stop. As our race leader, LS Barney, now approaching 12th place. I believe that's Weisenmitten. So Barney, who for about 15 laps or so has been running his own race with nobody around him, will now eventually be looking for a line around Weiseman, back marker. This patches Riley here in 7th position. Modern Weapon, who started out the race on pole because of that reverse grid order, back into 8th position. Slow Motion Fires in 9th. Drex in 10th. Good 93 in 11th. And as I mentioned, Weiseman in 12th. Let's go to LS Barney as he gets ready to execute that pass. Right up onto the back bumper there of Weiseman, letting him know, I'm here. I got you. And just like that, Barney does execute the pass. Pretty much flawless. I mean, absolutely flawless. Would be no contact whatsoever. But sometimes it has to happen. There's Bryant, Horizon, Fear the Fun, Oof Serena. Back behind Oof Serena in 6th position is Cratria. Watching TNR Horizon here in the, I've been calling the Blue Light Special all throughout Season 48. As Bryant now making a pass on P12, Weisenmitten. Horizon soon to be doing the same. Right on board with Fear the Fun, coming in at turns 1 and 2. Here's the Fun. Gonna roll up on the TNR Horizon here in 3rd position. Horizon was challenging, or was looking to challenge for 1st, but now has dropped back 1 spot thanks to Bryant and is at risk of falling back another spot. This is the Season 48 finale of the Forza Spec Racing Series. We've got 13 drivers who started out tonight. Unfortunately, one of them disconnected early on in the race, following a restart after Drex had disconnected. And so we're down to 12 in a season where we averaged about 15 drivers or so. You got the link right there, reddit.com/r/FN4. In the chat, here comes Fear the Fun. with the tire smoke seeming to indicate that he was hard on the brakes there. Perhaps Horizon was a little bit more quick to brake than Fear the Fun was expecting. Oh my gosh, Fear the Fun just giving Horizon all kinds of a hard time. Here through the final corners at lap number 21, and now the beginning of lap 22. They're going to go side by side down the front straightaway up to turn number 1 here on the national circuit. And once again, a little bit of contact. And again. And Horizon. I don't think Horizon was trying to put the squeeze play there on Fear the Fun, but rather because Fear the Fun got on the back tires, I think it probably took away from Horizon steering a bit there. And in turn, Horizon had Fear the Fun running wide and into the grass, and look at that switcheroo. Those are always fun to see, especially when we get the overhead camera view. Let's go back to that here on the Xventure replay. Well, I guess not. Thought I hit the record button. I didn't ask earlier, did you enjoy your time in the Xbox Forza coverage? I did. I thought it was fun. Now, it was a little bit different. I had never commentated. Well, I should take that back. I had commentated a couple of races in Forza Horizon. Ooh, what would that have been? Forza Horizon 3? Back when I used to host my own races, we did some Forza Horizon 3 events, and I had to do that from the perspective of my own car. So I was racing and commentating. I had to try to keep pace with everybody so as to catch all the action. But it's definitely a whole different beast. As Fear the Fun now back into the inside here, and they're going to do it once again. TNR Horizon allowing Fear the Fun to have the inside route, but then Fear the Fun on the exit runs wide, and that's what allows Horizon to loop it back in and take that position. All the while, Oops Arena has closed the gap here between 5th and 4th, and may very well soon make this a three-way battle as TNR Horizon, Fear the Fun, unrelenting in their battle for 4th. Battle for 3rd, I should say. And as a result, allows Oops Arena not only to kind of hang back and watch and see what happens, but to try to take advantage of the mistake there coming out of the S's, and that's exactly what she did. Moves up to 4th. Oh, and it looked like Oops Arena there for a moment thought about jumping into the inside to block Fear the Fun. Didn't commit to it, and as a result, Fear the Fun now back up to 4th position. Well, this is going to be a fun battle to watch. LS Barney, our race leader, has done a phenomenal job of keeping the distance between himself and second. Bryant right now playing catch-up. This battle for 3rd here is a good one, and as I look at other parts of the map, we've got Cratrum, who surprisingly is not having a great run, at least through the first 25 laps of this race. And I do say 25 because there was one lap that we had accomplished before a restart. But Cratrum and Patches Riley, who happen to be tied in terms of overall points coming into week number 5, happen to be 6th and 7th respectively, with Cratrum without a doubt trying to, at some point, going to try to catch up here with the main group. We'll see if pitch strategy allows him to do that. But to go back to your question, Ghibli, about the Forza Horizon 5 Fan Cup, the Honda Fan Cup, that I commentated, it was fun, but it was certainly different. You know, we have to rely on the video of the drivers. There is no spectate mode in Forza Horizon 5. And then when you're a part of an official broadcast like that, the thing too is that you have a production crew. Whereas right now, I'm doing this all by myself, so I can dictate where I go and who I talk about and what we see. Whereas in that setting, you're kind of at the mercy of the production crew who's trying to give you the angles of the best action out on the track, which... Oh, and there goes TNR Horizon into the back of Fear the Fun. Why do I have a feeling that these two are just having a heck of a time battling each other? Like, I don't even think this is spiteful so much as it is just a fun little battle. And then Oops Arena gonna jump in and say, well, pardon me, fellas, if you don't mind. Oh, and there goes Fear the Fun getting spun around. And a loading screen. Well, this is interesting. LS Barney is our race leader. Bryant in second. TNR Horizon in third. Oops Arena in fourth. So that was Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun did get spun around. Maybe that wasn't as playful as I am making it out to be. I don't know. Yeah, Fear the Fun is out after a... I don't know. I'm going to guess maybe a contentious battle. I mean, he and Horizon were just no holds barred out there for that last lap. And perhaps that pushed Fear the Fun over the edge. I don't know. I'd hate to think that there is any sort of... true disagreement between the two and that they couldn't just race competitively, but maybe we'll hear from one of the two or both after the race. But now, that's given Oops Arena free pass for fourth and has not let Horizon out of her sights. Keeping pace. Yeah, so you get the whole production crew. They try to keep you in the action, and then probably one of the more interesting things too about it being virtual, where we're not in a studio, is that the voice of the colleagues of Matt, who was the co-commentator, Joshua Gray, who was our host, that's coming through the headset, in addition to the producers, where normally you'd have like an IFB and you'd hear your producers and all that. And granted, you would still hear the other like, especially if you're talking about like news, you'd still hear like the reporters and all that through your IFB, because that's how you would be able to talk with them and know what they're talking about. But I don't know. It was just a whole different situation for me, because I'm used to this environment here where I'm more so in control. That's not to say that I like this more. I definitely love having the audience. I love being able to commentate. I mean, Matt was just outstanding. The insights, ES Grumpy, is his gamer tag. Matt, real name Matt, is into competitive Forza Horizon racing, which is awesome. Like, it's funny to think that like there's this whole other Forza competitive scene in the Horizon side of the universe, and then you come over to the Forza Motorsport side, and it's a whole other slew of drivers. So what he was able to bring to the table in terms of the strategy, the familiarity with some of the drivers, like none of those drivers are Forza Motorsport drivers, to my knowledge. I mean, sure, they may play the Forza Motorsport titles, but none of them are Forza Motorsport competitive drivers that I was familiar with. And so what he brought to the table in that regard was awesome. Joshua, bless Joshua, because at least during the Forza Horizon 5 aspect of the Honda Fan Cup, he was it was early in the day for him. He was spry. He was energetic. He had a long day. I think they ended up going like 12 or 13 hours with the NHL with the NHL coverage on the backside of the broadcast. Well, not even the backside. It was like 3/4 of the of the broadcast. So Josh had a long day, but was awesome to interact with during the Horizon 5 Honda Fan Cup portion, and it was great. As a matter of fact, I got some of the metrics here today, and I'm sure you guys saw this in the chat that like at peak, we have like 6,000 viewers at peak, which I've never commentated in front of 6,000 anything. 6,000 jelly beans, 6,000 M&Ms, 6,000 Abraham Lincoln pennies. It was 6,000 people watching us on Twitch, which is great. Now I didn't know what that number was. I didn't know what that number was while I was commentating. I wasn't looking at chat. I didn't have any browser open looking to see how the stream was performing, but after the fact, they gave out some metrics, and I was like, man, 6,000 with an average concurrent viewership of around 4,000, which was awesome. I mean, I would take 4,000 as an average concurrent viewership any day. Overall, it was just a really fun experience. I told them that I'm available to do it again if they'd like to. I don't know if I'll have that option, but or be offered the opportunity. But certainly, it was a lot of fun. It was great. It was my first official commentating event. I know our camera has been fixated here on Horizon and Oops Arena and now Cratrium. So what once was a three-way battle for third, and then Big J Bishop or Fear the Fun ducked out, and also Fear the Fun telling us in the chat that obviously it wasn't as kind and as friendly as I had suspected. Fear the Fun saying, I am not racing like that. Decided to break out, and now Cratrium is making for the third driver in the battle for third. It was fun watching. Yeah, no, it was a good time, and it went by so quick. Like 12 races in the span of less than 2 hours is super fast. Everything goes so quickly. 12? No, it wasn't 12. What am I talking about? It was 7 races. It wasn't 12. It was 7 races, but it was quick. It could have even been quicker, but they were having some connection issues early on. But yeah, it was 7 races, and I think what ended up being like an hour and 40 minutes. It was great. Yeah, they are short. Yeah. Yeah. Most of those official events that are hosted by Xbox and sponsored and everything, they usually go pretty short because, particularly in Forza titles, what you're really trying to avoid are those internet issues. And there's nothing more welcoming to internet issues than prolonged events, whether it be racing or a first-person shooter event or whatever. The longer you go, you're just opening the door that somebody's going to get disconnected. And when that happens, somebody's day almost straight up gets ruined because they're disappointed that they were disconnected, It's going to change their point total. So they like to err on the side of caution and make them short events. Fear the fun. You know better. I know you know better. I know it's frustrating. We try to, for everybody else, we try to keep it family friendly in here, so that anybody of any age level, any age level. I'm going to like my skill level spiel there. Anybody of any age can come in here and enjoy the broadcast. So. A quick 600 seconds there for you, Fear. You were also surprised that the racers were ghosted? Yeah. Forza Horizon 5 definitely... It's kind of an environment where you want to give drivers the flexibility to race how they like without affecting anybody else. Certainly in Forza Motorsport events like the Forza Motorsport or the Forza Racing Championship, the FRC, that was an official thing like 2 years back. As TNR Horizon opting for pit lane here. Told you the fuel was going to become a factor, and as a matter of fact, the front tires, at least on Oops Arena's Polaris Razor here, up to nearly 70% degradation, and probably we'll start feeling that in a little bit if waiting to bring that fuel down a bit. Now, interesting for Horizon opting to go into pit lane now. That may give Horizon a little bit of a clearer track here, especially as others duck into pit lane. Maybe make some ground on LS Barney and Bryant, who now are bumper to bumper here, coming out of Lakasha. Barney's still the race leader, but Bryant closing in. And I wonder if Bryant, you take a look at Bryant's vehicle, not so rough for wear up there at front. Only 55% on the front left tire, 16% in the fuel tank. But we'll see here if Bryant, yes, indeed, Bryant is going to take the opportunity to go in and maybe try to do the same thing that Horizon is hoping for. Go into pit lane, let everybody else come through, or make their stops and give you just a nice clean track to really hot lap it for a few laps and try to close that gap with Barney even more. Oops Arena staying out on the track. Cratcham in tow into turn number 1 here at the Circuit de Catalunya National Circuit. But yeah, as I was saying, the Forza Racing Championship that was run here in Forza Motorsport, and I imagine it'll probably come back with the new Forza Motorsport title, maybe with a different format. Those are collisions on. They definitely run those more like true motorsport events. And I am curious with the Forza Motorsport, the new Forza Motorsport, if it will be a bit more accommodating with regards to drivers being able to rejoin a lobby even after they get disconnected, which I know a lot of people are like, well, what does it matter? If you get disconnected, you get disconnected. It makes it rough for you. But if you think of like endurance events, getting disconnected and being able to get back in the lobby within a minute, you might be able to gain that ground back. It's not ideal. You would rather not disconnect, but hopefully there is a point in the future here with Forza Motorsport where if you get disconnected, you have a way, you have a means to get back onto the track and finish the race. Cratcham now across the line, opting not to pit, nearing 70% degradation On the front left, just past 65 on the front right. 12% left in the fuel tank. Craytrim, I feel like, a lot more efficient with the fuel than anybody else. What's up there, Wisemitten? You got disconnected as well? Man, a rough night here. 13 who started. We are down to 10. Wisemitten and Born as Ghost out. Fear the Fun voluntarily ducking out. And like I said, this is the finale of Season 48. The championship has already been claimed by LS Subaru. As a result, sometimes the turnout here in the 9th and final race of the season is a little bit lower. And that's what we've got going on here. But for those of you who are watching and are interested in participating, LS Subaru told me last week in our driver spotlight at the conclusion of week number 4 that the Season 49 vehicle might be a little bit more of what you would expect to see out on a racetrack versus what Subaru's given us here for the last couple of seasons. Selected the F-150 Raptor race truck in Season 47. We've got the Polaris Razor here in Season 48. We had, by no fault of LS Subaru's, this was the FM4 crew selecting this. It was kind of a unique way of doing it for Season 46, but they had the Cadillac XTS Limousine. So things have been a little bit interesting, but the racing has been fantastic. All that to say that, again, Subaru has alluded to the fact that Season 49's vehicle might be more of what you would come to expect out on the racing surface, and as a result, well, heck, just throw that preface all out the window anyway. No matter what vehicle we would be racing in, if you're curious on participating, then head on over to reddit.com/r/FN4. That's where season 30, or excuse me, season, gosh, where are we at? How did I just lose track of what season we're on? Season 49. That's where all Season 49 information will be posted as soon as it's available. I mean, heck, you can go now and see what the Season 48 setup is, and it's going to be largely the same going into Season 49. The two things that change, the car and the schedule of tracks. But get involved here at FM4. It's a great way to prep yourself for the next Forza Motorsport title. We're going to be back to a full lobby here, I have a feeling. As we inch closer and closer to spring of next year, and as the anticipation grows for the new Forza Motorsport title, I feel like we're gonna be back to a full lobby here pretty dang soon. So get yourself in here, introduce yourself, get a rapport going, get out on the track for Season 49, and make it a tradition of yours on Tuesday. And if you're not the racing type, well, then just come hang out with us here on the broadcast. That's fine too. I'm here for the viewers, I'm here for the racers. Just here to have a good old time in the FM4 Forza Spec Series. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 weeks of racing, 9 races in total. And it takes about not more than 2 hours per week, per Tuesday. Not more than 2 hours. Everything goes pretty quickly. 2 races each night, weeks 1 through 4. And then a finale like we have here tonight in the 5th and final week. DWM Frog should get a console and race. Do it. All right, at this point, I think everybody's gone into pit lane. We saw Craytrim go in. Although I didn't call it out, Craytrim did go into pit lane. We've got Patches Riley out in front in first. So Patches may not have gone into pit lane yet. No. Patches, I think, is the lone survivor right now that has yet to fill up and get a fresh set of tires. Actually quite efficient on the fuel there. Just now at 6%. That'll make that 5%. Make all the drivers mad because of your driving. Bryant looks to take the top spot after Patches goes into pit lane. Unless Barney has anything to say about it. I didn't realize Barney was so close. You look at the track map, you can't even see that third dot. P2 has absorbed the P3 dot on the track map. And look at this, Patches Riley opting to go one more lap here. Does Patches have enough fuel? Only consuming maybe 1.5%, 2% per race or per lap. Not bad, but I don't know. Maybe one more at most. I don't even know if I'd push it that far if I were Patches. Patches is enjoying the P1 position while they can. I don't blame them. I would too. You nominate Ghibli to race next season. Yeah, everybody. It doesn't matter your skill level. For those of you who are maybe newcomers to Forza Motorsport, maybe you just have started dabbling in the Forza Motorsport franchise, or maybe just multiplayer racing. Get in here. You're going to have fun. This is what they consider themselves a beer league. They show up on Tuesdays, have a good time, and then guess what? You wake up Wednesday. I hope you wouldn't be too agitated or disappointed in your performance the night before, but rather you just come back the next Tuesday, see if you can do better, and have fun. And as each season comes and goes, I'm confident you'll see your skills improve. All right, so Patches Riley has gone into pit lane. Bryant is in second now, following LS Barney in first. Big J Bishop, Fear the Fun, thank you so much for the Tier 1 subscription now. 10 months? Heck yeah, dude. High five to you. I know. You know the rules here. We try to keep it friendly, so you knew I had to time out the message. But thank you for your support. And you got that rookie card logo next to your name. But hey, if you stick around for another 2 months, that'll go away. You'll be graduated. You won't be a rookie anymore here in the chat. Not that you really are. You're a I'll call it this way. You're a rookie veteran. You're a veteran of the rookie variety. Thanks again. All the proceeds from the support of Big J Bishop and others go directly back into the broadcast. I don't put it in my own pocket. Has no use there. Got to make things here on the stream a bit better. To the outside goes Bryant here in this battle for first on lap number 41 of 61. At 62nd lap there in the top left, that'll just be a cooldown lap. So really what we're aiming for here is the end of lap 61. And side by side up to the top of the hill here at Circuit de Catalunya. Now through the first S of the course. And it looks like Bryant's going to hold on to it, at least for now. It's Napa. Napa know-how versus Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. What's the jingle for Dunkin' Donuts? Do they have a jingle? I don't know if they have a jingle. Somebody write a jingle for Dunkin' Donuts. I'm dunking it. No, that's you're thinking McDonald's. LS Barney with a couple of tires off into the grass. That'll slow him down just enough to allow Bryant to go by here at the end of lap number 41. And for the first time here in this race, Bryant occupies the top spot. He's going to go ahead and wag it across the start-finish line there, so as to taunt LS Barney a little bit in a friendly fashion. Taunting in a friendly fashion. That or just showing off for the camera. One or the other. Or both. I don't know. Maybe taunting and showing off. Showboating. Let's go ahead and move back to Oops Arena in 4th position. Cratrim is in 3rd. And you see TNR Horizon back there in 5th. All right, we got some people coming into the stream now. That's good. These finales, when the championship is already claimed, I somewhat get saddened by the fact that people don't want to watch the final race if the championship's already been secured. But you know what? Regardless, the racing is always exciting. So those of you who have chosen to hang out on this ho-hum of a Tuesday, because that's what Tuesdays are made for, is just ho-hum. And so we have to find ways to make it exciting. Trying to bring you a little bit of enjoyment here with some Forza Motorsport esports style. Maybe make you laugh. Maybe make you chuckle, smile. If you want to say hello there in the chat, by all means do so. I definitely welcome y'all's engagement there in the chat. The more back and forth we can have, the more exciting I think it is for people, the more entertaining it is. We can have fun conversations about motorsport, about Forza, about gaming. All I ask is we keep it, relatively family friendly, and all is good. Back to Barney in 2nd. Barney with the LS tag in front of his name, the Lightspeed Esports team. You can see them racing in Tora events. A lot of the Tora endurance races that happen throughout the year. As a matter of fact, I think Tora is qualifying for the 12 Hours of Silverstone? Might be wrong on that, but I think there is some qualifying going on right now for one of their soon-to-be happening endurance events, which I've commentated a few. I have. I've done Daytona, 24 hours, 12 Hours of Sebring. Good people over there at Tora. Drive directly down to Duncan Avenue. Can take you higher. That's what I was thinking when you typed what you typed there, Ghibli. It's a little bit different, but I like it. I don't know that Barney's taking questions. The only question that Barney has right now is, will I be able to find a way around Bryant with less than 20 laps remaining here? Oops Arena now falling back to 5th position. TNR Horizon out of La Clasha, able to move up to P4. So the Blue Light Special making moves. Let's see. I'll throw something out there for you all who are watching. Maybe you want to weigh in on this. Thoughts on this, what is it, the 7th generation Mustang? Which Ford revealed, 6 days ago on the 14th? Anybody have something they want to get off their chest as it relates to the 7th generation Mustang? They have a new performance version, which they haven't had a new performance version in like several generations at this point, but they call it the Dark Horse. It's going to be the highest trim level that you can get, 500 horsepower V8 motor. The Dark Horse version. This wouldn't be a bad track to do a 12-hour race / commentary event for, because this is one of the few tracks, which is weird because, like I said, this track has been in Forza Motorsport for quite some time. This is one of the few tracks that actually has pretty decent camera angles. Another thing I hope we get with the new Forza Motorsport title, a little bit more variance in, a little bit more variation in terms of camera angles, so that as we go back to the same corner that we were at a lap ago, maybe it's a different look. I'd say 2 at the minimum, but like 4 camera angles per corner, which I know seems like a lot, but the more camera angles they could do per corner would be awesome. I haven't seen the Mustang yet. Why do you think that manufacturers are doing crazy grills lately? I don't know. Like, they seem to be getting bigger, right? The grills. So it makes me wonder if, like, with more electronics and stuff like that, if they need more cooling. And so they make bigger grills that then require a little bit more creativity, I guess, to try to incorporate a bigger grill, but yet still fit the design aesthetic of the car. I don't know. I truly don't know. I'm sure there's a rational explanation out there. Yeah, the kidney grills of BMW, of the Famers. I don't know. I can't honestly say. I mean, certainly for turbocharged cars, they got to get the air from somewhere, so they have to make some space where there's intake that can consume enough air to satiate the turbo. Well, the turbo uses exhaust gas, but either way, you want to have a lot of air flowing through the entire system to spool that turbo. So I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons why they need more space, more air intake, more air coming into the engine compartment. I don't know. I really don't. Bryant, our race leader, LS Barney in second. Crate Trim now has moved up to P3. So where Crate Trim previously was, it was kind of, I was uncertain as to what seemed to be ailing Cratrium. Well, driver formerly known as Hitan, P3, followed by TNR Horizon, Oops Serena, Patches Riley in 6th position, Modern Weapon in 7th, Audrex in 8th, Soul Motion Fire in 9th, Kuda in 10th, and that is 10 of the 13 drivers who started this race, 2 in which disconnected, and 1 voluntarily dropping out, that being Fear the Fun. And so we are down to the final 10 here, with about 14 laps remaining. 61 lap race. Maybe the front half of the car should be a big grill. I mean, that's pretty much what they are. I mean, especially on trucks. The only thing it kind of has me scratching my head on the new 7th generation Mustang are the headlamps. Now I know they've long ago gone away with the round headlamps that, you know, definitely harken back to the original Mustang era, but the ones that they've gotten for the 7th gen, I mean, they incorporate three projector lamps, and then they've got these little LED strips over the top, kind of like eyebrows. But I don't know, they don't look like Mustang lamps. They look like something you would find. They look like kind of. They kind of resemble, at least in my opinion, like an aftermarket headlamp manufacturer's design. They look like something that somebody would slap onto the front of their Honda or something as a aftermarket, quote-unquote, upgrade. I was kind of surprised to see the headlamps looking the way that they did. Go back to second here. LS Barney, who's doing a really good job, a commendable job here. For the most part, keeping pace with Bryant. Bryant, though, starting to increase that lead a bit. What's the deal with cars and big grills? I don't know. Lap number 51 of 61. Locking up the brakes a little bit there is Barney. Going through the infield here on the national circuit. Cutting half the track. And making way up the hill. DWM Frog, you mentioned earlier the stunt, or presumable stunt, of somebody in cowboy garb riding their horse into a Walmart. But another stunt, which I gotta check out after this stream. I didn't see the entirety of it. I saw a little clip of it that was posted on Twitter. But Eli Manning dressed up as a Purdue quarterback walk-on tryout. 30-something-year-old Eli Manning out there running a 5.49 40 and slinging passes around. I gotta see it. Oh, Penn State. Something with a P. I thought, yeah. Purdue came to my mind, but you're probably right. Penn. I don't know if that's not his alma mater, right? Like they'd be able to know too easily it was him if he went back to his alma mater. It's got to be a I don't know. Probably somewhere close to where he lives or whatever. The hair, they put this like Trevor Lawrence style hair. Yeah, he went some. Yeah, I was good. I thought so. I thought Mississippi comes to mind. But Trevor Lawrence style hair and prosthetics to make his face look a little different. It's great. Oops, Arena still. I mean, this battle between Oops Arena and Horizon's been going on for quite some time. Before it was a battle for third, it is now a battle for fourth. Ever since Cratrim was able to get by. Ghibli says, I think the 7th Gen Mustang seems a bit Dodge inspired, but I like the look more than ever since they started that dinky front end in 2013 Mustang models. Well, it's definitely a lot more squished down up front for sure, as they try to improve the aerodynamics of it. Because when they redid the Mustang back in the early 2000s, like they really tried to use that same front fascia of the original Mustang, and it's like, man, that's definitely not aerodynamic. So now they've squished it down. So you got those squinty headlamps. But yeah, those headlamps are the only thing that kind of have me going, this is a Mustang? They just look a little funky. I think it looks pretty sharp though. I like the back, how the back has a little bit more, has more edges to it, more creases. Those the tri vertical tail lamp things aren't just flat on the back anymore. Like they go in and then they crease back out. Joe Beardy! What's going on, Joe? I want to see a dive bomb into turn number 1. I don't think it'll happen. Maybe at the end of the race, after they've crossed the line, somebody will plow on through the field. There's Cratrim in third. Cratrim's got a lot of ground to cover here in the next few laps. If Cratrim wants to have a go at second. I mean, obviously, Cratrim would love to finish as high up as possible. That is quite the task. Especially since Barney has been so on point. I mean, Brian has gotten by just because Brian's got that quicker pace, but Barney has been just solid. Very consistent out there. Got up to the front early. Do you think that LS Barney can make a push for the win? How are the tires wearing? Well, I mean, Barney was in P1, but relinquished that to Bryant. So really, the question is not can he make a push, but can he come back? And really, that the gap there seems to be gradually increasing lap after lap. So really the question is going to be, can Cratrium patch up with Barney here for a battle for second? It's a lot of ground for Cratrium, but that would, I think, be more possible than Barney catching Bryant. Bryant's just on a tear now. Bryant's like, I got this race. Subaru is out of here. I'm going to pick up my first win in the Forza Spec Racing Series on a mission. Bryant with that orange number plate signifying the rookie season here for Bryant. Doesn't mean you're a rookie or a newbie to Forza Motorsport. Just means that Bryant, for the first time ever, competing here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Entered week number 5, second overall on the leaderboard. Just too big of a gap. 300 points for LS Subaru, 273 for Bryant. Just too big of a gap to contend for the championship. But we'll see if Bryant makes a return in Season 49. Depending on what vehicle that is, maybe Bryant will be able to challenge LS Subaru. I implore anybody who thinks they got the skills, or anybody who just generally wants to have fun racing in a multiplayer lobby without the fear of craziness in public lobbies. Reddit.com/r/FM4 is where the FM4 series is organized and maintained. Go introduce yourself. Get involved here in Season 49, which will be kicking off. Let's see, like I said, we'll verify this with Slow Motion Fire, but should be getting going here at the toward the end of October. What if a leader makes a mistake? Oh, it's entirely possible. I won't put it out of the realm of possibility. But Bryant, up to this point, has not shown any indication that they are mistake-prone. Oof Arena really had the highest degree of tire degradation through the first half of the race, and right now sits at about 46% up front, 46 on that front left, 44 point, I'll make that 45% on the front right. As a matter of fact, we could just sit here and watch how quickly that tire degradation is coming in on those front tires of Oof Arena's Polaris Razor. Something about Oof Arena's setup has those tires wearing out quicker than the others. Now, you really don't feel it, as drivers have shared with me before. You really don't feel it till about the 70, 80% point. Maybe high 60s, but even then, it's pretty negligible until about the 80, 85, 90% mark, where then at that point, probably start to feel like the car just won't turn at all. Oof Arena hopping the curbing there, looking for every 10th, 100th, and 1,000th of a second here to try to close that gap with Horizon, but Horizon is just on it. Bryant, our race leader for probably about the last 10 laps, able to make that move. LS Barney, who was leading the majority of the race, in P2, Cratrim in third, Horizon in fourth, Oops Arena rounds out the top 5. Then it's Patches Riley, who was leading the race for about 4 or 5 laps, staying out there the longest on the original set of tires. In 6th, Modern Weapon in 7th, Audrex in 8th, Cuda 93 in 9th, and Slow Motion Fire in 10th. 3 disconnects, as you see there across the top of your screen. Wiseman, Fear the Fun, and Born as Ghost. Once again, we're racing to the end of lap 61. The 62nd lap is just a cool down. It doesn't factor into the race at all. It's the end of lap 61 that we're looking at for the finish. We'll talk to a few of our drivers in the driver's spotlight. I'll preview what's to come here on the channel. And hope to see you again soon here on the broadcast, whether it's on a Tuesday or on my Friday or Sunday streams. Keeping the camera here. Oops Arena has closed that gap now with Horizon. It's going to be oh so tricky, though. I mean, we saw it with Fear the Fun and Horizon. Those two were battling and did not really give themselves much room to escape. Sure, Fear the Fun, Horizon, they would exchange position, but they would never separate enough so that the two could hold on to their positions. And so for Oops Arena, it's more than just making the pass. It's making the pass and then finding a way to defend against Horizon, who, for ever since the pit stop here earlier on, a little bit past the halfway point, has just been able to hold that position in front of Oops Arena, not give her any opportunity to get by. Really locking it down. Lap number 60. Just two remaining here. Circuit de Catalunya, season number 48 in the Polaris Razor. It'll be in an entirely different vehicle with a different setup. But because it is a spec racing series here in FM4, everybody's upgrades will be the same. What parts you can tune, you can tune to your liking. But what will the vehicle be? What will the vehicle be? In addition to LS Subaru telling us that it's going to be a vehicle that's more likely to be seen on a racing track, something that you would expect to see on a racing track, or you know, at least see it and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That seems like a vehicle that would normally be out there. In addition to that, Subaru mentioned that it's part of his list of vehicles that he has in mind. Anytime he wins in FM4 season, defers to that list and selects from there. So if it's more of a motorsport style of car and ranks highly enough on Subaru's list to be selected, I am curious as to what it is. All right, the white flag has dropped for our race leader, Bryant. With about 3/4 of the race, or with the 3/4 of the lap remaining here at Circuit de Catalunya, looks to pick up their first victory here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. LS Barney in second, Cratrim in third, Horizon in fourth, and Oops Arena in fifth. We'll continue to keep the camera here for just a bit longer. Then we will want to bring the attention over to Bryant, their accomplishment here tonight. With just 3 corners, make that 1 corner remaining. A right-hander with the Napa livery. And in their inaugural season here of the Forza Spec Racing Series from TNR Esports, Brian across the line with style. First victory here in FM4. And well earned. LS Barney going to finish in second, going ahead and plowing the front bull bar of Bryant, pushing him off the course. Cratrim to finish in third. TNR Horizon holds off Oof Serena for 4th. Serena in 5th. Patches Riley, who had a good race themselves, finishing 6th. Modern Weapon, who started out on pole in this reverse grid order race, will finish 7th. Audrex, not so great here for Audrex. The connection issues here at the beginning of the race. And now a P8 finish of 10. Not the kind of finish here in Season 48 that Audrex was looking for. Good 93 in 9th. Slow Motion Fire in 10th. Let's see if Slow Motion Fire tries to make a move. And will not be able to do so. And that's where those two will finish. All right. Those of you who have been here before, you know the drill. Going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. It just allows me to take note of where the drivers finished. The organizers will do the same. You're not going to miss anything. The end of Season 48 has arrived. The 9th and final race in the Polaris Razor has come and gone. When we come back, we'll go into the driver's spotlight, see what words our drivers have to share with us about how things went here today and what they hope for in Season 49. I'll preview what's ahead here on the broadcast. And then that'll be a wrap for tonight. I hope you stick around. Just a few minutes of ads here for those of you who are followers, for those of you who have gone above and beyond with your subscription. I've got some tunes for you to jam out to. Throw those emotes in the chat, make them dance. I'm Dustin Moore. It's the end of Season 48 of the Forza Spec Racing Series here on Xventure Twitch TV. Hi, thanks to those of you who have stuck around here for our post race coverage. Season 48 now in the books, getting ready for season 49. It'll be here in about 4 weeks' time. Let's go ahead and turn on over to the driver's spotlight here for the conclusion of week number 5. And how did I know you'd be waiting here? Fear the Fun has joined me in the driver's spotlight. Even in a beer league, even in racing that is intended to be, fun, competitive, at times emotions can run high. As gently as you could put it, what went wrong out there, Fear the Fun, in that battle for, I think it was fourth with TNR Horizon here more than halfway through the race?
No, I just don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, okay, you don't want to talk about it. That's fine. You're really quiet. I don't know if your mic is moved or what.
Closer. Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. Much better. Well, what do you want to talk about? You don't want to answer my questions. What
No,
do you want to talk
ask
about?
me any question that's not about that part of the race. I'll be
All right.
perfectly happy.
Okay. Not that part of the race. Well, how were you feeling about the car? Circuit de Catalunya, it's the shorter circuit, the national circuit, but I'm a big fan. I like Circuit de Catalunya. How'd you feel about your setup going into that one?
I felt great. I mean, I love the car. I was fast. I had the fastest clean lap in practice. It was really good. It was a fun track, fun car. Uh, I'm actually kind of sad the season's over. I really like this car. I gelled with it a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously wish it ended on better circumstances, but it is what it is. I'll take the L, whatever it has to be, and
You felt good about the car coming into the race, the ninth and final race here of season 48. Um, does it change the dynamic of things, either in the Discord, on the comms, with everybody talking, with, I guess, everybody's approach to this race when LS Subaru, who's already won the championship coming into the fifth and final week, is bowed out? It's kind of like opens up the gates for, all right, who's going to get the victory here tonight?
it's definitely a different look for sure. I don't know if I so much like the roll off timer. I like the reverse grid. I don't like the roll off timer. It never works with me. I feel like we should just go how we always go, and just have the reverse grid because it kind of spices everything up. But I mean, I like it otherwise. It's fun. It's different. How many leagues do you know who have a reverse grid for their longest and most points producing race?
Yeah.
They don't. It's a good idea. It's a good stretch. I just don't like that part of it.
Interesting. Talking with Fear the Fun, who happens to be on the organizing side of the house here in FM4. So what? Do you go back into the admin chat and say, "Hey guys, I'm really strongly advocating that we do something different here for the end," or you just let it be and kind of see how it plays out for another few seasons?
Well, if anybody knows anything about this league, is that I don't really have a say in anything. They just let me kind of be the pest that is.
Oh, come on. To my knowledge, you've got a lot of input on the build.
On the builds, yeah, but I don't have a lot of input on how they do things. I get
Okay.
outvoted every time. They don't like my opinions when it comes to how to do things. They like my opinions when it comes to builds. And they don't even like that. They won't even give me builds most of the time. Like, they'll be like, "This is a good build, but we're going to go with the other build, or we're going to change something on your build, so we can't just say it's your build."
Okay.
It's the nature of the league.
Yeah, the nature of the relationships that you've all established there.
Yeah.
Ghibli Giblets, who does not race in FM4, says that he likes all your builds.
Yeah, I bet you can't. I bet he can't even name any of my builds.
The one that we just saw, of course. He's like, yeah, the Polaris Razor. That was you.
Yeah, the Polaris it's one of the better ones up there. Again, wish it would have ended better, but take it as you lick your wounds.
What is it about the Polaris Razor? What characteristic, what trait of that vehicle here in season 48 has really kind of grown on you? What was it?
Just the amount of grip it has. It's got so much more grip than you think it does. Yeah. So you have to brake later. You get on the gas way earlier. You're turning in earlier, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm on the brakes. Why am I stopped 40 feet before the apex of the corner when I need to be there, not here?" And it just kind of throws everything out the window.
Okay.
It's not a it's got a little bit of a momentum build in it.
Yeah.
That's also got like as much as you think you can go, you have to go further when it comes to hitting the gas, getting on the brake, whatever it is.
Well, not often do you all in the FM4 series opt for the race tires. So does that play a huge factor in how grippy this thing was, or is that car just kind of inherently here in Forza Motorsport just have that natural grip?
It kind of has a little bit of the natural grip with the stock tires, but with the race tires, it just gave it that little bit more, that little bit of like that edge, I would say.
Yeah.
And I honestly I like running race tires, not because it makes cars handle easier, but like the faster you go, the faster the tires wear off.
Yeah.
So you get those races like when we had it with the Volkswagen Sirocco, where at the end of the race we were down to like running out of tire, and we're like, how do we not run out of tire before the end of the race? And I think on that one you saw the first two run out of tire and on the last lap, and third place came in to win it.
Yeah.
On like I think it was the first race at Lime Rock.
Slow Motion Fire in the chat says great battles out there with Audrex and Kuda. Obviously, I think Audrex would rather that not have been a great battle and find himself a little bit further up in the pack. Just seemed to be a bit of an off night here for Audrex. Fear the Fun, who we're talking with in the driver's spotlight now, LS Subaru's hinted that, hey, I think next season we're going to go towards something that's a little bit more, I guess, racy, not racy what some of you all might be thinking. Get your heads out the gutter, but more of a motorsport style vehicle out on the track. Does that make you feel any which way, or does that have no effect on what your thoughts of season 49 might be?
Everything except for the Raptor, out of all of Subaru's picks, they've been solid racing.
Hmm.
I don't know what the car is. I have no idea. But if he says it's racy, maybe it's like a front wheel drive British touring car that we have in the game that we haven't tried, or I honestly I have no clue.
I'm
But
actually
that
quite
would be my pick.
I'm actually quite surprised Subaru hasn't just trolled everybody and just selected a Subaru each and every season.
I mean, it's in the name, right?
I
Like
know.
I think he's chosen the Brat and the
Yeah.
WR04 WRX.
Yeah, you guys did race the old Subaru Brat, the Ute, one of those seasons while I was in the middle of relocating. So unfortunately didn't get to cover that one and the WRX. So missing out on both of those. But we'll see. We'll see what Subaru's got on tap for us here. Bootang is in the chat, says, an actual car? Time to make my glorious return.
He won't.
Ah.
We all know he won't. He says all these nice things, and you get your hopes up, and then he just tears you down. I've been waiting food to return for like 3 years. Ain't came back yet.
We should hold him
Uh,
responsible for that.
I tried to. He doesn't care. He'll send me. You know how he distracts me? He sends me a song he makes, and then I spend the next 6 months listening to that song until he feeds me another one. And just as I'm starting to remember, like, hey, why aren't you racing with us? He'll throw another song into it. He does it. It's a constant cycle. It's just the mind of a squirrel that I have.
Oh, he's just trying to sell records, huh?
I mean, he makes good music.
DJ
And I like
DJ
good music.
Futang.
Correct.
Well, if he's awake now at this time of day to type in the chat, then certainly should be racing in FM4 season 49.
He won't.
Dang.
I want him to. I don't think he will. You know what? I bet that he won't. I dare him to show up.
Okay. Got it. And he says a glorious return too. So Futang's not only suggesting that if he were to return, it would be a return, but a glorious return. Well, let's see. Let's see it, Futang. Cracks knuckles. All right. All right. Fair the Fun. By the way, it was awesome being able to see you be competitive. And by that, for those who aren't in the know, I mean like your hardware stood the test of the season. You made it through. You should finish pretty high on the overall leaderboard. I know you came into week number 5, I believe tied with.
I lost a lot of points tonight because I've got
Okay.
2 weeks where I've had DNFs.
That's right. Yeah, you've had a couple of DNFs throughout the season. So Oops Arena looks to move up to 4th position on the overall leaderboard. But hey, solid performance here in season 49 season 48 for the most part. Look forward to seeing you in season 49. What shout outs have you got for us here tonight?
I give a shout out to my brain for being able to like calm myself down after getting real heated today.
Good job, Brain.
It happened a little bit earlier in the season too, but that was my own fault that first time.
Uh,
This time, I'm gonna say it's my fault just because I got to take that I got to take it to the chin.
Oh.
But I'm I'm excited. I want to do it again. I just don't want to get frustrated anymore.
Goose
Because
Fraba. Goose Fraba.
exactly. Shout out to Foon. I see Joe in the chat. So
Wait,
shout out to
hold
Joe.
on. You going to shout out Foon? The guy who
Hey.
you say won't come out here and race? You're going to give him a shout out now?
He's not gonna show up and race, but it doesn't mean I don't love the guy.
Oh.
And, I mean,
Shout out to
Joe-
reserved for people who, I don't know. Fine, whatever.
he exists. All right.
He loves you. He's giving you the hearts there in the chat.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Oh, shout out to Slow and Modern for another great season. I think we've got another. What is it? I think we got 2 more seasons until season until season 50, and I think we have something different for the car choice for season 50. So
I like it. I like the idea of doing something celebratory for season 50. My 25th season commentating with the Forza Spec Racing Series will be here in like 5 more seasons. So I don't know. I got to figure out something for me there too, and then we've got the new Forza Motorsport title coming out too. So that'll be interesting what that does here to the franchise. So a lot of exciting stuff, or to the franchise, to the FM4 league. So a lot of cool stuff. I can't say it enough. If you're interested in participating, like, get involved now. That way you've got your foot in the door. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Forza 7's a little bit long in the tooth. The cars are a little bit long. The tuning, the paint, the tracks, it's a little stale. But I mean, we're trying to make the best out of the situation we have, and we do have a lot of fun usually. The people are fun to talk to when they do talk, because some of us don't. That's perfectly fine. But we have good conversations. We like to laugh. It's not so much about competitiveness, which I gotta remind myself sometimes. If you want to have fun, you want to be with friends around good people, this is where you should be. It's not about the winning. It's about the friendships that we make along the way.
Yeah. Well, and hey, if for you it is about the winning, then still no better league to join than FM4, where you've got probably one of your steepest challenges. If you are all about winning, well then get over here, get involved, and see if you could take on LS Subaru. 7 straight championships is it's got to come to an end. So somebody has to step up to the plate. Somebody's got to do it.
You want to know the last time I won a race? It
I
was
don't know.
Prague. It was Prague in the Aston Martin.
Oh god, that was a good season. That was
like
season.
your second season, and you're working on what, 20?
Well, just finished 20. This was the 20th season right here.
So you think about it, I haven't won in 19 seasons. It's time for me to have a comeback.
I like it. I like it. Very good. Fear the fun. Always a blast chatting with you. Sorry things didn't go as great tonight as you had hoped, but there's another season right around the corner.
Yep. Have a good one, Dustin.
Thank you. You too. All right. Now into the driver's spotlight, the rain god, LS Barney. Barney, who not able to be a participant all throughout the season, but having a wonderful race here tonight. You led a good chunk of the first half of the race, then the pit strategy came into play, and of course Bryant was just making his way up there, closing that gap lap after lap. Finally was able to get out there in front of you. You kept a good pace though. You didn't let Bryant get too far out of sight.
Yeah, coming in tonight, I didn't really expect to be able to do the whole race. I had plans at 9,
Uh-huh.
but then the plans got canceled midway through the race. So I was like, oh, I think I could actually try now. So I started actually pushing the car. I mean, I'm already in first,
Yeah.
So I had free room to actually push the car. But yeah, no matter what I did, I just couldn't gain time on Bryant, and just slowly just peeled that time away until he finally caught up to me.
Clearly not a newbie to Forza Motorsport, but obviously showing up for the first time here in Forza Spec, the Forza Spec Racing Series, and with LS Subaru's absence, Bryant was able to pick up the win. What thoughts and comments do you have about Brian's racing style? And certainly, if you're able to participate in season 49, is that a battle that you expect to continue on in the next season?
Hopefully. I mean,
Yeah.
if I get a car that suits me a bit more, then I think I will be able to give a challenge to Bryant. But, just watching him drive while he's in front of me, I just noticed he made so many like less mistakes than I did. So that's probably something I have to work on, especially in that car.
Yeah.
Was I just couldn't get the car right through most of the track.
Yeah, it was an E300 performance index vehicle here in season 48, so momentum was certainly the name of the game. And if you make few mistakes like Bryant did there, then a win is all that much more possible, and certainly was able to make that happen. Was there something? Obviously, you said that you didn't expect to be there for the entire race, so as it relates to like pitch strategy, I think you stayed out there maybe a lap or two more than some of the other field. Did your strategy go as planned, or were you just kind of winging it?
I was kinda winging it, I was basing off Bryant. Once
Yeah,
I saw him pit, I was like, "Well, if I don't pit now, then he's gonna pass me by
yeah.
next lap," so, it's just as soon as I saw him pit, just dove right into the pits and barely made out in front of him.
The Polaris Razor. Your thoughts on the car here, and what races you did get in here in season 48?
It's definitely fun for, like, wheel-to-wheel racing, but it's just not my style.
Yeah.
It's something that really focus more for, like, wheel ri drivers, like patches, where, like, you don't scrub off as much speed with smaller inputs, and, scrubbing off speed in these cars that's gonna kill you. You're gonna lose all your speed, and that's where you're gonna lose all your time.
Talking with LS Barney here in the driver's spotlight, end of season 48. So Subaru, part of the Lightspeed esports team that you're a part of. Do you just kind of give a wink, wink, nudge, nudge of like, hey, can we do this with the car, or at least in terms of the car pick, can we go this direction? Do you try to, you know, weigh in on that at all?
I mean, I've tried, but according to him, he's got a whole list of cars he
Yeah.
wants to try. So he's got high expectations for himself. He thinks he's gonna win the next like 20 seasons.
It currently has like a target on sweeping a season. Hasn't done that yet. Win all 9 races, but then beyond that, try to surpass Craytrim, who has the most championships in total, which I believe stands at 10. So a couple of goals that LS Subaru is still trying to tackle there before either bowing out or stepping back a little bit. What performance index wise, we were here toward the very bottom of the performance index in Forza Motorsport 7. I don't know. What? Do you want to jump all the way to S class next?
I mean, I heard you talking to Fear saying it's gonna be more of a racy car. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for is like an S class track car
Yeah.
because that's where I seem to be at least a little bit better.
Yeah, Subaru did mention last week was when we were wrapping up week number 4 that the next vehicle is going to be more motorsport like. Now, unless Subaru is throwing us a curveball, that seems to suggest that it might be something, I guess maybe more up the motorsport alley, whatever that could be. There's 700 some cars in the game, and of course they're not repeating any vehicles. So for those of you who are like, oh hey, that one season was really cool, let's bring that vehicle back. That's not in the plans there. All right, LS Barney, what shout outs you got here tonight? What events maybe are you participating that people might see you in? Are you in any of the upcoming Toro stuff? What you got going on?
I don't really have any plans for any Toro events right now.
Yeah.
I can't really get a team together on Lightspeed to do it, the Silverstone race or whatever race is coming up next.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think it is
remember.
Silverstone. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't really find enough people to actually who want to keep doing Forza. So
Okay.
I don't really have any plans for Toro right now.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just gonna be RF and four.
Gotcha. Um, any thoughts in terms of livery themes for season 49 if you were to put a suggestion there? Last last week I threw out to Slow Motion Fire that we've got 2 options. An art car style theme or a tribute to T-Phrase with a big time tooth guy where everybody has to have some sort of like dentistry item or something like something related to teeth cleaning. Like, what are your thoughts? Where should the theme go? You had Dunkin' Donuts here, which is a little bit unusual for you. You're typically in the green and purple Barney getup, but what about season 49? Where should that go?
I'm not really sure. For my car personally, I will probably try to do another, like big chain again, because like making that Dunkin' Donuts livery was really fun, having to add all the sprinkles and stuff. So, I'm trying to do something more fun like that one, with like bright colors and all that.
Uh for Barney here in the driver's spotlight, and for those of you in the chat, Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme?
Oh, I'm more of a Krispy Kreme kind of guy, but the Dunkin' Donuts colors are just so much better.
A little bit more fun to work with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got that like pinkish and orange color.
yeah. Okay. And somebody pointed out when last week also that I think it was maybe Soul Motion Fire is that it really kind of depends on the car. Like sometimes the car's curvature and all that lends to other designs or themes better than others. Um, do you find that to be the same if you're designing a vehicle? Is that it really kind of depends on what the canvas is that you're working with?
Yeah, I can't count how many times I've started a livery, realized it'd be almost impossible to do on the car because of the weird Forza livery editors, and just given up on that idea and tried another one. Forza's livery editor is kind of jank.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's got a little bit of different features from game to game just to make it somewhat subtly different from the previous iteration, but really it's the same editor that people have been working with since the original. Yeah.
It's about the same. I
Yeah.
mean, all they changed for Horizon 5 is they just changed the HUD a little bit, and that's about it. So,
Okay. Alrighty. Barney, what are your shout outs here before we go on the hiatus here between season 48 and 49?
shout out to Bryant for giving me that good battle
Yeah.
that race, and shout out to Penguin. I don't know if he was here during the stream.
Not
Yeah,
today.
he's been supporting me all season,
Yeah.
so
We miss you, Penguin.
I'll clip that and I'm gonna send it to him.
There you go. Yeah, he was here I think Friday when I was doing the flight simulator stuff, but not here tonight, which understandable. But hopefully we'll get everybody back. All it never fails like the first week of a new season starts to bring people back out then, and as the season goes on that wanes a little bit. But Penguin, if you're listening on demand or if you're listening to Barney's clip, we're thinking of you. Come back. Come on back over here to X Venture. Come hang out here in the chat. All right, Barney. Good chatting with you as always. Hey, give us a percentage. Chances of Suzuka in the wet, season 49.
You 50-50. I'm gonna flip a coin for it.
50-50. Okay. Very good. Barney, good chatting with you. We'll see you in about 4 weeks or so.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Yep. Okie dokie. Back on over to, let's see. Let's pull from the queue here. We got Slow Motion Fire. I got it right this time. You found yourself at the back of the pack there. Obviously, we had some DNFs, but I don't know. How did that? How are you taking things at the end here of season 48 in the Polaris Razor out there at Circuit de Catalunya?
Well, it only took me about 54 laps at Catalunya there to dip into the 28s, where the faster guys were running. So
you need a tire wear to help get you those higher times, huh?
Well, I got there, but I was so far behind by the time I got there to be competitive. But oh well, it is what it is. Had good battles with Audrex throughout most of the race, and then Kuda at the very end there. So I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean a few anomalies there, really. You, Audrex, not typically where we see Audrex. Granted, it was a smaller field, so to see drivers, quote unquote, at the back is a little bit of a misnomer here because you only had 10 cars on the field at the end of the race. But still, obviously, I think everybody aspires to not be the caboose on the train there. But It was fun. It was great watching that one, and of course we saw here in this final race of the season that Bryant, in his first appearance here with FM4, getting first victory.
Yeah, shout out to Bryant for picking that one up. It sounded like through most of the race he was battling pretty good with Barney.
Yeah.
So if either one of them had won, I think it was going to be their first win in the league. So can't go wrong with that. And then I think it's the second race now for I'm going to get this wrong. TNR,
Mm-hmm.
THR,
No,
TNR.
TNR.
Yeah, their second win with Serena picking one up earlier. So
That's right. Yeah, Serena out
shout out,
there at Homestead.
congratulations. Yeah, to those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations there, TNR team. Penguin says, I'm back. I heard the cries. Well, thank you there, Penguin, finding your way back here after we were calling you out. Kraitrim in the chat says, if someone's going to beat Subaru, it's going to be Bryant, not me. Man, it's hard to hear that, Kraitrim. It's hard to hear that. I have hope that Subaru will pick the vehicle that will be his downfall. I have hope. I have hope.
Fly too close to the sun.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, hey, let me go this direction with it, and just not turn out the way he expected.
Well, tomorrow night we get our first glimpse at what he's picked. The teaser images go live at 7 Central.
Yes.
So if you want a chance of guessing what the car is going to be and winning yourself a track pick for season 49, up tomorrow. So have a look at them and see if you can guess the car.
Yeah, I mean, I always posture that as like if you feel like a certain track gives you an advantage, it's a great way to kind of participate early in the season at the before the season actually kicks off. Select the car correctly, get to pick a track. But even if it's just you just want to pick the track that you think poses the greatest challenge to the field, then do that too. Like it doesn't have to be your favorite or the one that you think you're going to be most competitive at. We saw here in season 48. Rio de Janeiro, the full circuit in reverse. I mean, even Bathurst in the Polaris Razor, I thought was going to be an interesting pick. It obviously, or actually, turned out to be a fantastic race, much like the Rio de Janeiro one. So, give it a go.
Going into the season, I was a little bit baffled by some of the track picks we saw coming out because we'd announced the build and then it was an E-Class car, and then everybody's picking longest tracks in the game, and it's kind of like, what are you guys thinking? But it ended up working out. This is the first time we've been to the full layout of Rio, I think, ever. So
yeah,
check that box off, and we'll see what gets picked for the next season.
I was honestly a little bit shocked that that the Nürburgring Nordschleife wasn't just picked for the humor of it. That somebody didn't say, hey, we're gonna do the E-Class Polaris Razor, the Nürburgring. Enjoy it, everybody.
It actually, Fear had it picked for the longest time, and then we
Fear
saw
did.
a lot of the other track picks come in, and then Fear changed his pick to Catalunya because there really wasn't a good enduro, so we ended up picking this one to run as the enduro. So there's a very real possibility we could have been running Nürburgring.
I quite like the Circuit de Catalunya, the national circuit. I think that was a good pick, a good way to include things. We had great battles for first, all the way back there to third, and then I'm sure from fifth, sixth, seventh, there was some good back and forth going on there as well. Penguin in the chat says anarchy is ideal. I think you're just saying I don't know about anarchy, but maybe like chaos. Chaos is ideal. I have to ask you. It's just
the oddball track picks, the way it sounds.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't think of what would have been a crazy selection in the Polaris, like the Catalunya, but even the Catalunya club circuit is still a pretty lengthy circuit.
Yeah, for the slower cars, but it gets pretty tight when you get a field. It wouldn't have been a problem with 13 cars out there, but when you get a full field, I think like we saw with the Fiats and stuff, it was a pretty tight race. Although we survived Long Beach Mini in the 360 Ferraris, so after doing that, everything seems like it's spread out.
This was also the season. I reminded myself this was also the season that you all introduced kind of the um gosh, what's the right term for it? But like they're at Lime Rock.
Oh, well, we called it the Rallycross layout.
Yeah, there you go, the Rallycross. That was also the introduction of that. So kind of interesting to see the creativity. Even though you guys have been playing this one here, I think Forza Motorsport 7 is about to hit its 5-year anniversary mark. So creativity you guys are coming up with, even if they are just the smallest, most minute changes to a race, are all pretty interesting. One that seems not to be one that seems that Fear is not a fan of is the whole reverse grid order thing here for the finale, which you guys have been doing for several seasons now. Is there any other kind of like just either race structure or even something to do with the entirety of the season that you guys are looking at? I got to just check up to see what the status is or if everything will be status quo for season 49.
49 will be the same format.
Yeah.
Season 50, again, we're
Yeah.
shaking it up a little for season 50, so that'll be something fun to celebrate.
Yeah.
But no, season 49 will be the same format we ran here.
Got it.
And Fierce says he doesn't like the reverse starts, but when he got a start at the front, he took full advantage of it. So
yeah, in the season in which he had all DNFs, he was really loving that pole position in the finale.
Yeah. So yeah, that just kind of so easily you forget one season to the other.
Speaking of which, I mean, obviously for anybody who was watching and going like, "Oh, you guys consider this a beer league," but there was some I guess heated competition in that battle for fourth, Horizon and Fear the Fun. I'm guessing those two, kind of let bygones be bygones and start anew in season 49. But I feel like this has probably happened before where you just got to kind of remind everybody, hey, we're out here having fun. Everybody just chill out, have a good time. And before you guys know it, you're on to the next race and everybody's forgotten about it.
Oh yeah, I mean the beer league is just kind of the atmosphere of it, the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to win. You want to have a good race. You want to do the best you can, and it's not that you're not trying out here. So when you're trying to win, it can be frustrating, but that's where you just take a step back. Next week's a new week. There's absolutely nothing on the line to win or lose. So
Okay. Well, there you go. I can't say it enough. I mean, it feels like I can, but I truly can't because unless we have a repeat season like we did here tonight, or this season in season 48, where we have so many newcomers / people who have maybe raced in FM4 before, but not to a great extent, and then reemerged here in season 48. When we have more of that, I think we can definitively say that people are heeding the call of come join, come be a part of it. It's really a great opportunity to get yourself prepped up and ready for the new Forza Motorsport title, which is going to be here before you know it. I know spring seems like such a far time away. We've got all the holidays yet. We still have the turn of the calendar, but before you know it, we're going to be hearing word of when Forza Motorsport's coming, and then obviously how that will factor into the schedule of events here in FM4. So get involved now. Reddit.com/r/FM4. All right, Fear the Fun. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to go through the entire interview without doing it.
I'm just going to have to change my name, Dustin.
I guess. You and Fear swap. And
You made it through the whole season when we had slow slip and slaps and did it just fine while the rest of us struggled, and now this is throwing you off for some reason.
Slaps Vela, where are you? Where are you, Slaps? Another one from down under, right? Slaps Vela is from either Australia or New Zealand, yeah?
No, he was in Northern Europe, I believe.
Okay.
Norway or one of the Scandinavian countries.
Got it. All right. Cool. Yeah. Get back over here. Oh, and Futang. I don't know if you saw the chat, but Futang was flirting with the idea of returning. But Fear is not convinced.
He's been teasing us in the mod chat with that as well. So we'll see it when it happens.
Okay. Yeah,
love
I
to-
mean, if
we'd love
if
to have
if for nothing else,
these-
I just want Foontang to return so that we can have the goofy interviews here, as Foon is was accustomed to doing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
The Leon interviews.
Yeah, there you go, Leon. I couldn't remember the name of his alter ego, his other personality. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I where I was trying to go before I called you by Fear's name was, I always have to ask. It's part of my non-existent contract here with FM4 is, where are we going vehicle-wise for season 49? Do you have any sort of clue? I feel like you've got to make it a tradition where not only is there the photo competition for people to guess, but that I need some sort of like obscure clue in terms of the next vehicle. Might as well
Obscure
start it now.
clue. I don't believe I've ever provided you with an obscure
I know, that's what I'm saying. We got to
clue.
start the tradition.
You're just throwing this on me now? How am I supposed to come up with something obscure off the top of my head?
Well, you knew the question. I ask you this every season, and every time you give me the official official. I cannot say what the vehicle will be, except for that it has 4 wheels,
Yep. It does have 4 wheels.
couple of
Well,
doors.
some might even say it's got 5.
Oh, so a hatchback. Is that our clue?
You can interpret that however you want.
Wow.
I-
Well done.
It
Good.
might even have 6.
Oh, he's counting the hood, the bonnet for
The
somebody
wheel?
else. I'm sorry.
As a wheel?
Oh, I
Bonnet?
thought you
The
said
hood?
door. I thought you said doors.
No, you asked about wheels.
Oh, well, you
We
threw
started talking
doors in
about
there.
doors. No, let's talk about wheels. 5, 6.
See, now I think you're just messing with my brain.
No. Think about it. Read the chat.
Well, yeah, steering wheel. I know you're talking about steering
Uh-huh.
wheels. You're talking like a spare tire. You're being goofy with me.
Might even be more than that if you want to dig deeper into the structure of the car.
Yeah, okay, fine. Never mind. I want no clues from you, because then they're just sarcastic in nature. All
As
right.
they should be.
Okay, fine. All right. Nobody else behind you here in the driver's spotlight, so Slow, I leave you to give our final shout outs of the evening.
Oh, just shout out to everybody that tunes in to watch the broadcast. It's
Heck
great
yeah.
to see the chat moving while we're racing. Hope all you guys are enjoying the show.
Oh.
Shout out to all the drivers who join us week after week and participate in the Discord. Kind of make this a lively event that's just fun to look forward to. Shout out to all the help from the mod team, everybody that helps put these events together and keep everything civil and running and covers for me when I'm MIA. So thanks to everyone.
Here, here. I echo that. All right. Soul Motion Fire, well done. You and the team on another stellar season. I don't care. Subaru can win the next 10, and I'll still think that as long as the racing is good, that they're all great seasons, and they really are. It's still fun to watch the other battles that are out there on the track. So good work, and looking forward to seeing what you guys got for season 49. And as Slow Motion Fire pointed out there, season 50, something special looming on the horizon. So be sure to stick around for that. We'll see you in about 4 weeks or so?
Yeah, next week there's nothing on the calendar. The only thing that would happen is the car announcement. If it's guessed by Tuesday, if we don't have 9 guesses in, we'll announce it officially. And then I get the remainder of the track picks. So if you don't want me to have any track picks, get your guesses in. The week after that, we'll just have some fun nonsense racing. And then Test and Tune starts the week after that. So I think that's probably about October. Let me pull up the calendar quick. October 11th will probably be Test and Tune.
Okay, and then that has a week 1 start of the 18th. Thought so.
Yep.
And while I've got you, I actually did mean to ask you this question, so sorry to hold you a little bit longer, but for anybody who's thinking ahead and saying, gosh, do I want to start now here in 2022? I mean, as you're hearing, season 49 looks to start toward the end of October, which will then take us into November. What have you guys traditionally done? I'm thinking you guys kind of wrapped in November, yeah? Like this might be it for the year, season 49.
Yeah, I'd have to look how it kind of plans out, but usually the holidays start getting in the way of stuff. So if that's the case, we'll end it a little early and we normally organize some fun events. In the
Yeah.
past, we've held like the Historics or the Oval Ganza, or
Yep.
if the Forza Motorsport 4 servers are still up and running, we might host something there. We've done that in the past as well too. So
Yeah, by my count, season 49 would come to an end the week before the Thanksgiving holiday. So something to think about if you guys are out there on the fence going, maybe I'll just wait a little bit longer, maybe a little bit closer to next year. Well, season 49 might be that. So don't be apprehensive or kind of hold back if this indeed ends up being the season to close out the year, and it could be a good one. So especially since everybody starts from 0 points, everybody's in the running for the championship at the end. All right, Slow Motion Fire, I don't mean to hold you up any longer. I know it's a little bit later for you, so have a wonderful evening. Again, great job, and we'll see you in season 49.
all right, thanks for putting the broadcast together, Dustin. We'll catch you next season.
Betcha. All right, folks, that is it. Another season down. My 20th season with the Forza Spec Racing Series is in the books, getting ready for season number 21. It really does sound cool. Like, we'll have season 49, which will be very similar to what we had here in season 48 and most of the seasons before this. Sure, there's been some differences, particularly with season 46, which had the limo that was selected by the drivers themselves and not the champion. Season 49 will happen. Then the 50th season, whatever they've got in store for that one, and it could be the first season of 2023. And then how much closer do we get to the new Forza Motorsport title when season 50 ends? We'll see. So I feel like we're getting to that point. Like, it was a little quiet here today, which is, like I said, something I've come to expect when LS Subaru already has the championship. Could get interesting. Both driving-wise, the number of competitors we have, hopefully more folks here in the chat chiming in and giving their thoughts throughout things. So I'm thinking you should be back in when season 49 gets started. You can always follow me on Twitter to stay in the know in terms of what some of those FM4 updates are. Once they have the car selection, once it's definitive in terms of the start date, and where to go to get all registered and everything. Once we have the URL, that'll take you directly to the season 49 registration. Make sure that that's posted there. So follow me on Twitter. Follow the channel if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed tonight's content. If you didn't enjoy it, then just close out your browser now. Bye. I'll be live again here, not on Friday. I am not going to be available for a Friday broadcast, but I will be back on Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern for the conclusion of Batman Arkham City. If you're curious about that playthrough, I'm just doing the main story. We'll wrap that up here on Sunday. That's been fun. And then I'll be back a week from tonight, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, with the Forza Horizon 5 Photography session. So if you want to come chill, we'll play some music. We'll talk about photography. We'll talk about gaming. We'll talk about whatever it is that's on your mind. And just take some cool photos in Forza Horizon 5, the beautiful world of Forza Horizon 5. Have a good time with that. And then, like I said, not this Friday, but the following Friday, I'll be back for one of my longer Friday streams. I don't yet know what I'll be doing there, but we always have a good time, whether it's Flight Simulator, whether it's American Truck Simulator, whether it's just something that I pull off the shelf that is completely atypical of the stream, whatever. We have a good time on Friday, so if you've got that availability, we'll have that too. And of course, you can always stay up to date on all the things that are happening here on the channel. It really is where I go to first and foremost to kind of keep things updated. So if you want to know what's happening, I would say look there, twitch.tv/xventure/schedule, and then that way you can stay in the know. Alrighty, thanks a million for those of you who joined us here this evening. Big thanks to Big J Bishop, who, again, going above and beyond with the subscription 10 months now here subscribed to the channel. I appreciate this support. Thanks to all the drivers here of Season 48, even those who could not participate here tonight. If you were involved in the racing action, your participation is always greatly appreciated. The more action there is out on the track, the more things that I can cover, the more things I can commentate, that much more exciting for the viewers. And of course, everybody who's been here, whether it be one race or all 9 races of Season 48 watching here on the channel, my 20th season. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It makes it all worth it and a whole heck of a lot of fun when I know that I've got people that I'm talking to and not just talking to myself. All right, folks, have yourselves a fantastic hump day Wednesday. Have a wonderful week. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you next time here on Xventure. Be happy, be healthy, be kind to one another. Adios. Bye.